What is up, replay viewer? So glad that you are here for more content, videos, articles. You can check out the blog, anotherchristianblog.org. If you are watching the replay, we're going to give it a little bit of time, let people join the conversation. So you can just fast forward this video. You can move to the beginning of the discussion. Recently I've been talking a lot about abortion. And, personally, I'm sick of having to talk about it. It's disgusting. It is the denial of human life and human dignity at the very foundation of it. And I've done scopes about adoption and abortion, but this story that came out a few days ago is disturbing, and it should be a warning to everyone in this country that our country has gone insane, absolutely insane. Very backwards, Jeremiah. Very, very backwards. By the way, brother, sorry I couldn't make it on your onto your blab. I was hoping I would be able to, but I couldn't make it. Jeremy, what's up, brother? Yeah, so most of you probably know the story already. You know that the undercover operations by the people who made the lies in that video are getting prosecuted. So the people who made the lies, right? Yeah, they made it up. They put words in the abortionist's mouth. That's what it is. Center for Medical Progress, right? The Center for Medical Progress. Yeah. They lied. They lied about it, right? Because they didn't actually say those words, right? Design. They didn't actually say that they would sell baby parts to them. So and this is how backwards our society is. Planned Parenthood were the ones here in Harris County. I live in Harris County. They were the ones that were under investigation. Highly edited and proved they don't sell baby parts. Well, I'm going to take you to task on that because here in Harris County, in Houston, Planned Parenthood were the ones. Yeah, just repeating the narrative. That's exactly it. Planned Parenthood were the ones that were being investigated for this. Did they get indicted? No, they didn't. Who got indicted? David Dalden, and Sandra Merritt. The people who made the film are the ones indicted for this. Tampering with governmental records, a second-degree felony, and Dalden was indicted on the count of prohibition of the purchase and sale of human organs. So, Proud Design, if you're still in here, I don't know if you are. How could the person making the video be indicted for wanting to buy baby parts if Planned Parenthood weren't selling them to him? Pretty simple question. How could you indict one part? They were trying to buy baby parts, but they didn't sell them. So their intention were to actually purchase baby parts? Is that what that video is indicating? It's not journalism. It's not an undercover operation. This is what happens when the moral compass is gone, when you throw it away. When morality is utterly subjective, right? You can indict one side, but not the other. It takes two, okay? It takes two sides to tango. So what you're saying, Proud Designs, is that if an undercover cop goes into a person who's selling crack and says, hey, I want to buy some off of you, that cop needs to be indicted then. That cop needs to be charged because he's doing undercover work. Obviously, the law is about intent, right? Are you telling me? Yeah, it does make things muddy. And that's why the title of this is People Who Call the Evil Things Good. They are journalists. It's called the First Amendment. Okay? They're journalists. They're trying to expose the disgusting practices of Planned Parenthood. And I think they did a pretty good job, because if you want to claim the videos they put out were highly edited, you can watch the entire thing. They put those out as well. So you want to watch the entire thing? That's fine. You can go do that. I doubt that you did, because if you did, you would realize highly edited is just a facade. Is just a facade. It's words with no meaning, with no backing at all. And the thing is that when they prove they don't sell baby parts. That's right. Yeah, they don't sell baby parts, right? They only agreed to it. The problem is that we, as a country, have forsaken the very founding of this country. The reason why this country even exists. We have decided that, you know what? God doesn't need to be anywhere in this equation. Nowhere. We can do it all together. You just look throughout history. How did secular societies function? How did totally secular societies end up? Not good. Not good at all. And we are warned all throughout Scripture. Isaiah 5:20. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. That is America. That is America. That's the very essence of America. That is exactly what we do. We call evil things good and good things evil. That is what we do. Whatever you say, prophet. Whatever you say, prophet. Or wait, design, not prophet. Whatever you say. At the end of the day, the way that Planned Parenthood makes money is by killing human beings. That's how Planned Parenthood makes money. Do you rather they throw it away and not use it for scientific purposes? I would rather they not kill children. I would rather that they invest in true parenthood, not murderhood. That's what I would prefer. That's my stance. I would prefer not to have millions of dead babies. What would you prefer? What would you prefer? Apparently, you think dead babies are a good thing. Pretty backwards. Pretty backwards. And here in Harris County, what would be called the Bible Belt, we see the degrading, we see what happens to societies when we take God out of the equation. We see what happens when we allow the secular left to determine what morality is. We end up with death. That's what we end up with. We end up with more dead human beings than what was in the Holocaust. Unfortunately, they're still going to do abortion. At least another life can benefit from it. Well, there you go. You look on the bright side, right? That's insane. That is insane. I cannot believe that someone, because what it sounds like you're saying, Proud Designs, is that abortion is actually wrong. And that women, for the sake of convenience, shouldn't be killing their children. That's what it sounds like to me. But at least someone can benefit from it? Are you serious? What about that human life? I also find it incredibly ironic that you can get a second-degree felony for tampering with governmental records for simply recording conversations between yourself and Planned Parenthood. Unless, of course, unless, of course, you're running for president. If you're running for president in the Democratic Party and you tamper with government records and you mishandle sensitive information, in fact, things that are eyes only, things that are supposed to be that are very sensitive, you can mess with those all you want. You're not going to get indicted. This country has called evil good and good evil. Truly, it has. This country very well could be under the judgment of God, as it should be. As it should be. Because what we see going on in the courts, what we see going on in politics, what we see going on in culture, is simply the fruits of denying our Creator. You want to find human dignity? You want to have a grounding for human dignity? You want to have a grounding for morality? You ain't going to get it from secular humanism. Because you can't. They don't have an answer for this. Well, we're going to do the best we can with what we got. I think that's not very good, but no. It's wrong. It's murder. Exactly, it's murder. But instead, the court system here in Houston, Texas, Harris County, has decided to indict two people who decided to record conversations between Planned Parenthood officials and themselves, and they are the ones that get indicted. They weren't even under investigation in this indictment, but they're the ones that get indicted. It is disgusting. It is immoral. It is absolutely backwards that this is happening. And I know for myself, as a voter here in Harris County, that we are going to fight this absolute nonsense. And we're going to fight it through the proclamation of the gospel of Christ. That is the only way we're going to have true change in this country. Jeremiah on here the other night was talking about revival on his blab. I didn't get a chance to join in on that conversation or even see any of it. We need another great awakening in this country. And it's going to come as we become the mouthpieces of God. As we bow our knee to Christ, we say, look, I'm going to go where you want me to go. I'm going to say what you want me to say, and I'm going to do what you want me to do. And what Jesus calls us to do is share the gospel. That's how we're going to have less dead babies on our hand. That is how we're going to have less broken homes. That is how we're going to fix the ghettos. That is how we're going to fix the brokenness in people's lives, is by sharing the gospel, pointing them to a better way. Unfortunately, the church has become extremely reactionary. We react to any time society does a really stupid and backwards thing, and it's time to lead. It's time to take the reins back. And we'll say, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You've had it for long enough. You're taking us down a road that just leads to death. And that is no more evidenced than by Planned Parenthood, who makes all of their greenbacks on the backs of dead babies. It is an incredibly disgusting practice that our country has embraced as normal. And my hope and my prayer is that Christians will stand up. Christians will be the ones at the forefront of these discussions, not placing judgment on people, but to a certain extent calling people out for their sin. And you're right about that, Jeremiah. The church is afraid of being labeled bigoted or unloving, but we're called to share the truth in love, and sometimes the truth hurts. I have to discipline my child when he does things that are bad, when he does things that could harm him. Does not make him feel good. He might not even view that as loving, but we do it for his good. We do it because we do love them. If you are by chance a young woman or any woman and you're watching this, my hope and my prayer is that if you are pregnant and you're considering having an abortion, I want you to know that that little one inside of you is a gift from God. That little one inside of you is just as human as you are, just as deserving of living life as you are. And it's a shame that our country has allowed this nonsense to continue. That's true. That's true, Jeremiah. And the people at Planned Parenthood that are going to tell you, no, this is the right call for your life, are lying to you. They don't care about you. They care about money. They care about killing the little one inside of you so that they can collect their check from you. For anyone who's interested, I would encourage you. Unfortunately, there's no way for me to really post this in Periscope. But if you go to YouTube and you search Steven Crowder, he did an interview with a former Planned Parenthood employee. And on that interview, the employee speaks about how they used to have quotas on the number of abortions that Planned Parenthood location had to do. And they would try to reach certain goals because the abortions are how they made the majority of their money. We are turning life and the taking of life into a money-making endeavor. We want to rob from God who lives and who lives, and who lives and who dies. We want to take the job of God. That's what we want to do. And we want to be people. We want to be God, essentially, is what it boils down to. We want to be Him. And it boils down to this: greed. It boils down to the fact that we make ourselves idols. And we think that we know better than God. And so to my brothers and sisters in Christ, this is my plea to you. As we start seeing more and more of the destruction of our society, as we see more and more nominal Christians leaving the church, it's time for us to stand. It's time for us to rise up and be sharers of the gospel, to preach the gospel. It's time for us to take the lead and not let the secular humanists take the lead. Because what you get when the secular humanists take the lead is you get death. You get death. We will truly reap what we sow in this country. And my hope and my prayer is that when that judgment comes, we will be the voices in the darkness, pointing people to the light. We will be the people that go into the places no one else will go and show people the truth. And that we will ultimately be instruments used by God not to bring judgment, but to bring grace, bring mercy, and bring love. Because that's what we're called to do through the power of the gospel. So guys, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you hanging out with me as I rant a little bit. But this is something that does weigh heavily on my mind right now. It's something that I think we need to have our attention called to. I appreciate that, Jeremiah. Thanks for being here, brother. And it's something that we need to take seriously as Christians. It is, Caleb. It is. It is a good thing. There's worse things to rant about. That's true. So God bless you guys. Jeremy, God bless you, you little troll. And we'll talk to you guys later. God bless.